Hello and welcome back to Gappleton. Today we are going to be covering the new 4-link that's going to be going in the C10 race truck behind me here. Well, more of a street truck, but we're going to be going with a new 4-link. The truck is currently linked out as of right now. It has a triangulated 4-link that I put in maybe 3 years ago. I didn't really know a whole lot about what I was doing. I know I wanted to 4-link the truck for whatever reason. I had to do it. Just leaf springs weren't going to do. So yeah, it has a very, I guessed. I just put bars in. Well, it's worked. It's actually performed fairly well. I've measured and the anti-squat point, stuff like that. It's actually pretty decent, but it has zero adjustability. So we're going to be going with a new style 4-link. Alrighty, so this is the 4-link kit. Well, kind of. So I have, let's see, 4 of these brackets, and this one is just a template at the moment. So I'm actually going to be redoing these brackets just because this axle hole is too small. These are brackets that I cut out on the CNC plasma table. I drew them up based off of some designs that I liked online. So I drew these up. Yeah, I didn't pay attention to my actual axle size hole, so I have to redo this one. But this is considered a low prep style 4-link kit for low power vehicles. And as far as drag racing terms go, low power is like under 1500 horsepower. So I am well within those definition of low power. So yeah, this is the kit that I think is going to perform best for my truck and my local track conditions. The staggered bar length, where the upper bar is much shorter than the lower bar. You can look into low prep style kits and kind of determine what they sort of do and if it's a right fit for your application, compared to kits that have this bar moved back to a location about here where the upper and lower bars are similar length. Usually more for a I don't know, like a Mustang style car, something that hits the tire really hard. I run a slick with our local track. The prep isn't super tight, so I think this is gonna be a good fit for my vehicle. What I'm hoping to get done today is get the bars made. I have all of my heim joints and I have all of my tubing. So what I'm going to be doing, oh, there's a hair. What I'm going to be doing is cutting all of my tubes to length, chamfering the ends, drilling a hole through near the ends for a rosette weld, and yeah, hopefully I can get all the bars welded on. Well, that went a lot easier and quicker than I expected. Now to chamfer the ends. So here's a little before shot before these get welded. As you can see, this groove kind of matches. There's a chamfer on the actual rod end itself, and now there's a chamfer on the pipe itself to make sort of a V to lay the weld in all the way around. And these are both left hand and right hand threads on either end, so if you were to turn the rod itself, it's going to bring the rod ends together or farther apart. So rather than having 2 right hand threads where you have to like wind them out the same direction, you can simply wind them out or wind them back in with the bar, and it's going to draw the ends either in or out with the opposing threads. Something to note to make sure I keep this in track out of my own mind. One of them, I think the right hand is smooth, and the left hand has a very thin little groove. Right, you can kind of, oh, yep, if I catch it in the light, you can see So both the jam nut and the piece itself have a groove machined into it so you can help tell them apart. So the next step is going to be drilling a through hole on both sides on either end, so 4 holes in one rod, so I can rosette weld and then weld all the way around. Give these a quick little chamfer on these holes. Done. So what I've done here is I've added the rosette welds. Those are what those holes were for. Those go through the pipe into the side of the joint right there. It's just kind of an added reassurance. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people do this. Smarter people than myself. So yeah, it couldn't hurt. So the next step is to TIG weld the chamfers. If my wife is watching this, I need one of those little cool little rotary positioners that spins the piece for you. All right, there they are, all welded up. I'm gonna leave these to sit on the floor overnight so they can cool. And we will pick back up tomorrow. All right, today is tomorrow. I have the rods are all sufficiently cooled off overnight. I got the rod ends on. There's Kaya. Yeah, these turned out awesome. I think I am probably gonna figure out some fun way to scuff them up really fast on a drill or something like that and then shoot a coat of paint just to keep them from rusting. But yeah, I'm gonna call these a success. These turned out super, super well. The welds turned out really nice. Yeah, I look forward to using them. I am gonna have to recut out my 4-link brackets for the rear. Just lining them up. These were one of the very first parts I ever cut out, and my table wasn't quite trued up and square and all that yet, so there's a little variance between the plates. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm gonna be able to use these at the moment. I may try and salvage them at a later date. That'll probably look like lining them up and kind of, I don't know, making solid pairs between the two so that everything lines up. There's one, well, they're slanted so you can't quite see, but there's one that's actually quite a bit larger than the others. So yeah, there's a little bit of work to be done. Yeah, got to make some new brackets for the rear. Well, the fronts aren't made yet either. Yeah, the fronts aren't made yet either, so I need to make the doubler plates for the extra support on the section that's twice as thick, and then the main plates out of 1/4 inch. So that's going to be the next project. Probably going to end this video off here because that's going to be a little bit more of a, probably a whole video in and of itself making those new brackets. So thank you for tuning in. We will hopefully see you next time as we continue our 4-link build. Say goodbye, Kaya. Goodbye, Kaya.